Hey, peace, power, and positivity. Welcome to episode 7 of the Me So Selfish experience. What we gonna get into today, not gonna be anything too crazy. I just wanted to chop it up with you guys, kind of a filler episode. Yeah, no. It's been kind of a good week. I think I was able to take a little bit of a step back in the social political realm of what's going on and kind of just, I guess in a sense, reflect kind of on my own terms on what I want to continue to do when it comes to the message that I preach on the pod. And it's always going to be the betterment of our people, right? All my minority people. I preach that every episode. But I think more than that, it's just kind of just getting back to this point of togetherness, communion, restoration, and liberation, right? I've always said in the last couple of episodes, and I'm going to continue to say this every episode because I get everybody's not going to watch, you know what I'm saying, every single episode, or even get to the point to where I explain these type of themes or how I even feel about certain things. I'm knowledgeable, not the smartest man in the world. I just literally want to have more conversations so we can get to wherever we need to get to as far as freedoms for all people and whatever that looks like for all people. Again, that looks very different and completely different for everybody. And I know, again, everybody's thresholds in which they are willing to fight for those freedoms is all different too. Now, with that being said, I think about I think about choices, right? We're all choices away from being where we don't want to be and choices away from being where we want to be. And I've noticed when I actually started doing the work, like, damn, it was that easy to really like choose to do this to therefore lead me into a mindset to do things that were in the betterment of society, right? And I say all that to say this. When you live within your means, you start to realize hyperconsumption and things of that nature and why that plays against us in a very negative way. Again, I'm not going to get into the whole social political form of it, but I just want to just break this down to you real quick. People who buy a lot, obviously, you know what I'm saying, who spend a lot, who do a lot, tend to have this idea that you need to make more money in order to, you know, upkeep this lifestyle, and therefore you're happy. And if you're not doing these things, then you're not successful, right? I find it kind of weird that we still like, obviously it's capitalism, but we are still continuing that to push that narrative to the forefront in a sense of letting that lead our decision making. The hyperconsumption aspect of or the aspect of hyperconsumerism is kind of something I would like to be eradicated or mitigated as much as possible because that's a lot of what's in the way in these themes that I've been talking about from week to week. Now again, it's more or less just the idea of always wanting to have more money and then you end up spending more money and then that leads to just more and more bad decisions, right? The more you come into more and more money. And this thought isn't exactly all the way clear enough, or I'm still kind of working on how to really formulate what I'm talking about when I think about, you know, where our money should be going and what we should be doing with our money when it comes to the community and whatnot. But it's because of the capitalism and hyperconsumerism that it causes us to be channeled into individuality and just me first, individualized thought first, and it's just a non it's the dopamine hitch, right? It's just a non-stop. It's ever going because you're just continuing to want to get more and more money and spend, 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 spend. Now, the point I'm trying to make is since I live within my means, I never really had the thought to really chase money like that. You feel me? I don't come from a rich background like that. I don't come from a poor background either. We've always just lived within our means. We never had a whole bunch to show for shit. Like, I don't know how to really explain that the nature in which I was raised to where my thought process isn't money all the time. It's to be comfortable, right? So then I don't have greed or the yearn to make money, 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 money to then I pretty much the what I'm getting at is I feel like you develop certain traits on this avenue of being money hungry, right? And within those certain traits, like the characteristics in those traits is kind of what I feel like, lack of a better term, causes people to turn into shitty people. But that's not a hard thing to fathom, right? So it's not a hot take to say, but it's kind of just one of those things. I would like to always put in the forefront why I'm always preaching we need to get away from capitalism and then individualism and reshape and redefine our thought process on success, how we reach success, and just how we view success, period. And again, because I'm not a hyper consumerism like that, I'd never, I feel like I'm successful now, right? Just living within my means. But I get like you could look on socials or you can look in anywhere and point and be like, that's not success because of what capitalism and society has forced upon us to what success is supposed to look like and what success is supposed to be, right? So it's one of those things too. I'm continuing to try to redefine and reshape what success looks like for our people because again, like it shouldn't money, unfortunately, I get how essential it is for us right now. We're going to be fine without it. I need people to understand we're going to be fine with and without money, with and without whatever inner workings they got for us. We're always going to be good. So that's I guess where I'm getting at too, and to more just build up that courage that we don't need to be scared of loss in that department because we're as Black, Brown, Indigenous, Asians, Pacific Island, as our people. I say this every episode. As our people, we're very innovative. We're always gonna be the currency. You guys feel me? So we're always going to find something to keep us stable. So don't be in fear of losing things and losing your money and losing these things that unfortunately I get we work so hard to get and acquire, but that's just because that's how they boxed us in. They made us money hungry to where we have to depend on it. And what I'm trying to reframe and rework is how to get us to get out of that element and that mindset of we need this money from the government and from. So I say all that to say, again, it's easier said than done. These are things that are in my head every day, again, about how to better articulate and how to better communicate how it is that I want to implement and change that, right? Because again, with the limited resources I have right now, I can only lend my voice and my thoughts. And through conversation, I want to see what everybody else has to offer as well. Because again, this is a team effort. And on top of that, it's going to take everybody and it's going to take some real action. And I mean action to really get this shit popping, like to really actually, excuse me, and really actually do something that's going to be sustainable for us in the near future. Because I'm tired of the quick fix mentality. I feel like this country obviously was built off of the backs of slaves and indigenous people, but if you think about it, like beyond that, it's just been patches and patches of quick fixes. You know what I'm saying? And before you know it, quick fixes spill over. You know what I mean? Because that quick fix, that choice ends up doing a whole beeline in sparking off 1,000 different things that if you would have just took care of that one choice, took care of that one problem, we wouldn't be in the mess we're in now. Like, and that's a very, very bleak, bland statement. I get it. Like, I just want you guys to, again, try to connect the dots, right? And that's why it ends up being where I know you guys can feel it too. There's a spiritual shift happening where you can feel people who are guilty about what they're doing. You can feel people. I don't know how to explain it, but you can almost sense that we're on the brink of something. At least I can, and I'm not nervous. I'm not scared. I'm a little underprepared. I ain't gonna lie, but also at the same time, I'm just ready because I just know the tools that I was left with in being resourceful and also to just caring for my people. There's no way I could fail at anything that I do because again, I'm not money hungry. I'm not fame hungry. I'm not driven by social forms of success, I guess, or the way that y'all will view success on socials and things of that nature. Like that's not me. So again, because I envision such a brighter future for not only just my son, but just for everybody else in general. Like I believe in this. So give me just a second, y'all. Let me charge this damn laptop. This shit gonna die.